Under the Mayo posted a Batman Arkham Origins review. Now, following his Batman Arkham Knight review, I don't have high hopes for this, guys, but we're going to watch through this together. And if you guys want to catch me on live stream, check the channel right now to see if I'm live. I go live Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. But if you guys are not watching this on the live, make sure to subscribe for more content. And let's get right into this.
I didn't expect to play Arkham Origins for a while. After Arkham Asylum, City, and Knight, all in a few months, followed by the entire Church of Arkham Knight having it out for me, I was ready.
No. Don't pull that card. You didn't finish the game. People were right to come after you for that one, including me.
For a little break. Some time away from the Batman. Because I loved Arkham City, and I worried that maybe part of my dislike of Arkham Knight was due simply to burnout. All these games play the same.
So, I wonder, did he go back and finish Arkham Knight then, if he acknowledges that it could have possibly been due to burnout? I hope he did.
Man, they're quite long. That's not an insult, but maybe I was just over the Arkham style of gameplay by the time I played Arkham Knight.
See, here's the thing, right? I kind of understand what he means by this, because I've been playing a lot of Batman Arkham recently, and I'm starting to get a bit burnt out by it. I love the games, but I can only play it so much at a time before I start to get burnt out. So I get what he means.
Maybe the burnout blinded me to the greatness of that game.
Yeah.
It's certainly possible. But here I am, playing Arkham Origins already.
Yeah, let's see it.
Well, I gotta say, I'm fucking shocked. I had no idea it could be
I feel like he's trolling. Guys, he's got to be trolling, right? Surely he's trolling.
this good.
Okay. That was a good one. That was a good one. I'll admit it. That was good.
Damn, this might even be better than Arkham City. The combat,
Yeah.
the new enemy types, the tone, the look, the pacing, the story and character interactions.
No, I agree.
And the total lack of the Batmobile sections made Origins a pleasure to play. So,
No, he's absolutely right here. Like, there are a bunch of different enemy types compared to Arkham City. The story's probably better. You know, you could argue that there's things about this game that are so much better than Batman Arkham City.
we can toss the burnout excuse in the trash right next to Arkham Knight, because
Oh my gosh, man. You still haven't beaten the game! Quit talking about Arkham Knight! This is not an Arkham Knight review.
thoroughly enjoyed Arkham Origins. It wasn't burnout. All I needed to do was play a game that doesn't suck balls.
Oh my gosh. You still haven't given a good reason for that. Why don't we talk about Arkham Origins? Stop going on about Knight if you're not even going to finish it.
I even finished it. Can you believe it? All it
Wait.
took was a great game and not a boring tank simulator.
Oh, I'm gonna freaking have an aneurysm here in a minute, guys. Oh my gosh! How are you gonna bang on
I mean,
and on about how much a game sucks that you didn't even finish? It actually boggles my mind. Oh my gosh, man. I might break my monitor having to listen to this crap.
listen, I personally did some calculations, and did you know that the Batmobile sections in Arkham Knight take up 87% of the entire game?
Yeah, you're trolling.
That's just too much, man.
He's trolling. He's trolling.
And it makes me not want to see a car for the rest of my fucking life.
Good,
But
don't drive in
let's get this
one.
out of the way right now. Before I get into Origins, something must.
You know what? If he did not like the Batmobile, maybe he didn't mind like the traversal in the Batmobile, but if he did not like the traversal in the Batmobile, he better not have liked the fast travel then.
Clarify.
I better hear a complaint about
There
that.
will be many things I praise in Arkham Origins that I fully admit could be present in Arkham Knight, most notably the high level of gadget integration and the progression of missions. Arkham Origins has even better.
Thank you for the
integration
$1.99 help, you. I
and
appreciate
abilities in
you.
the early game than Arkham City. 2 bat claws on the grates, and the second one doesn't tell you what to do, so you have to remember. 2 explosive gels, an early armored guard to teach you about the cape stun, an early door that gets you to
The
do
tutorials for the exact same Batman Arkham Knight, but I don't see you calling this Batman Corn now, do I?
multiple fast batarangs. They get you into Batman's toolset early, and they consistently build on it. I complained that Arkham Knight's missions in the opening hours, one after.
Okay. I understand that like you can talk about Arkham Knight in certain instances when it's relevant, but I feel like you just want to have an excuse to drag Batman Arkham Knight through the mud.
after another were just about figuring out a way to make the car do something for you, when what I really wanted was...
It was the car, it was the other gadgets in this game. The Batman Arkham Knight also had tutorials. It wasn't just Arkham Origins.
For the missions to make me use the Batclaw, Batarangs, Slide, etc. It's a good way to keep your abilities on the mind of a new player as they're learning the game. It's good game design. Arkham City does this well. Arkham Origins does it better. But Arkham Knight...
You know what? If you think that Batman Arkham Origins is a better game than Arkham Knight, I agree, right? It is a better game than Batman Arkham Knight. However, at the same time, you still refuse to acknowledge the good things about Arkham Knight as well.
Like I said, was front-loaded with hours of tank combat and puzzles.
That's not true.
The car.
Yes, there are puzzles involving the car, but there's also puzzles on your feet.
When I pointed this out as a criticism, I was told by many that Arkham Knight has those exact kinds of missions that I was asking for, just later in the game. If I hadn't quit, I would have seen the very thing I was complaining was missing.
Yeah.
And yeah, but that's my point. The first act of Arkham Knight...
No. But there are points in the game when you're on your feet. But people also complained that there was no Batmobile. So you were given the Batmobile. And you didn't even finish the game. Have I mentioned that yet? Have I mentioned this guy didn't even finish the game? Stop going about Arkham Knight! Just play Arkham Origins. I just want to know your thoughts on Arkham Origins already, man.
So stuffed full of miserable car stuff that it soured me on the whole experience.
I mean, that boy Aqua did the math. What, 20% of this game is spent in the Batmobile? Cope.
Car puzzles and tank battles in the campaign missions, car chases in the side missions, car races in the side missions, more tank battles. I couldn't take it anymore. Whatever goodness there is in Arkham Knight that comes later, it's too late. I'm not sticking around anymore.
Well, then you can't complain about Batman Arkham Knight if you're not willing to finish the game! I'm gonna have a stroke!
So this is me, right now, saying...
Let's get into Arkham Origins.
Every time you hear me say something good about Arkham Origins that also applies to Arkham Knight, don't bother pointing it out. Because
I'm gonna point it out.
The response is gonna be, yeah, but the car stuff in the first act ruined the game, so I don't care. Now...
So, in other words, you're not even gonna acknowledge the points that we have to make to your criticism. If you're allowed to make criticism, we are allowed to respond to your criticism.
I will also mention, before getting into my thoughts, that I'm aware this game launched in a horrible state. Even now, the game has some glaring technical issues. Yeah, there were a lot of glitches in there, but also, like, a lot of people just didn't like the game because it wasn't made by Rocksteady. It wasn't Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill voicing Batman and Joker, so people automatically just hated it. Yeah, I'm good, LB, I'm good. And I can't imagine how bad it was when it came out. I understand that soured a lot of people. I actually haven't faced a lot of technical issues. Tell them that they're wrong for feeling that way. However, I didn't have that experience. No, I didn't either. I played the game as it is now, and that game is quite good. While I did have a few moments where I got stuck in the geometry and had to restart, or suddenly had a button just not work anymore, these moments were rare, and most of the bugs I saw were crazy physics reactions that made me laugh, or the see, like, that's funny, though. That's not really something you should complain about, because that's just plain funny. Audio bug, or an enemy just randomly teleporting. Certainly not okay! You see? To lower my opinion of the game overall. Origins was not made by the studio that made the other games. No. They apparently weren't given as much time as they would have liked to finish it. But what they did accomplish in that time exactly. People don't ever consider that, though. People just like to complain. Arkham City's map and builds upon it in interesting ways. Yeah, I saw a lot of places I either didn't remember or were actually new. And I think I prefer the look of the city in this game. Yeah, I do too. Especially because there's no freaking big... Well, actually... Not entirely true. Environment really sets this game apart from the others and makes old areas feel fresh. And I really enjoyed flying around, taking in the sights. It's a beautiful game. Tonally, it's darker than City, evidenced right away by the difference in menu design. Origins having a black and white menu with red Christmas lights in the background. The dark menu tells you... I mean, the theme of this game is meant to be darker, right? It's just... Like Batman's in a darker state here. That you're in for a thematically darker experience than Arkham City. Yep. But it doesn't go so ridiculously far into darkness like Arkham Knight, which was just...
If I have to frickin' hear this crap one more time, I'm going to scream. Chat, I ain't lying. I will scream.
Just black, dark, and serious.
Well, yeah, because Batman Arkham Knight was about the mental struggle that Batman was going through after the death of the Joker and the side effects from having the Joker's blood in his system.
Batman. I remember being put off immediately by that menu before even playing the game, and it was
This guy is literally one of those IGN game reviewers. He has to be.
definitely a clear signal of the Batman porn to come.
But see, I don't see you complaining about that here in Batman Arkham Origins or Batman Arkham City.
The story was actually quite interesting to me.
Yes, it
as
was.
someone who's not big into Batman as a character, Arkham Asylum and City were stories that I found a little difficult to get into. Those games are for the Batman fan
No, I get
already
that.
into the Batman world. Arkham Origins tells the story of an early Batman, much like the Robert Pattinson film.
Yeah, I like it.
Batman is out on Christmas Eve while there's a bounty out on his head, and we're introduced to a list of killers that I'm personally unfamiliar with.
Yeah,
because
I
of
like that
the
idea.
comics.
I like the whole
But
thing
they
too.
were pretty cool characters to go against, instead of the typical Penguin, Harley
Oh,
Quinn.
no, but chat, like, honestly, like, out of all these boss battles, right? You were a good tutorial. You were pretty good. You were awful. Could not stand the Copperhead boss fight. Deathstroke was amazing. Electrocutioner's best of all time. Shiva's extremely mid. Bane's, especially the TM1 one, was amazing. Deadshot's phenomenal.
Two-Face, the usual suspects. However, Bane gets a lot of screen time here. I enjoy
Yeah,
that. And
I enjoy
really
Bane.
like how the Joker is portrayed. He just goes wild. We really get to see the chaos he can unleash.
Especially
And
because
cinematics with him,
especially because the Joker's younger during this time, so he's got a lot more energy. He's a lot more hungry to cause this chaos.
truly exciting. I very much enjoyed the conflict of Batman dealing with Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, I
him
liked it.
dealing with a
I'm gonna make a quick correction. Actually, he's not Commissioner Gordon yet. As of this time, he's only Lieutenant Gordon.
police department and not wanting to trust this new vigilante running around breaking the law. But the real star of the show is actually Alfred, showing unconditional support to Batman.
That's
but
right.
Also trying to get him to not push himself so hard.
Yeah,
as
he's
this is still the boy
giving you a
he spent
firm
his life
hand.
taken care of. The best moments of the game are when Alfred is pouring his heart out and laying out some hard truths Batman doesn't want to hear.
I agree. Yep. Oh, this is one of the greatest scenes ever. But Alfred will tell Batman what he needs to hear, not what he wants to hear.
Mr. Bruce, I will not in good conscience allow you to go. You're outmatched by these assassins.
Okay, well that was a bit much of Alfred to say.
You're a young man with a trust fund and too much anger. In
Facts.
over your head, and I don't want this to be your end.
Batman hasn't really been in danger at any point tonight,
You
though.
can see how much he cares.
Yep.
And for me, as someone who doesn't look that deeply into Batman, this is the first time I've seen the character of Alfred shown to be so interesting.
Yeah, honestly,
I think I
that's
connected more
facts.
with Batman this time than I did in the other games, probably because this feels like a better introduction to him and his conflict. He's truly struggling to find his place in the world, establishing himself as a vigilante to be respected. The voice performance is also excellent,
Yes,
and
it
I
is.
highly prefer this version of Batman that strings people up or drops them into a Christmas tree over the dark, brooding monster that crushes people's heads under the giant.
So, see, once again, this guy just has to find a way to bring in Batman Arkham Knight into the equation. But what I also take from this, guys, is that Kevin Conroy was not his favorite Batman in the Arkham franchise. Just think about that. Roger Craig Smith, you did an amazing job, but you are no Kevin Conroy by any means.
Tires of his personal tank. Moving on to villains, Black Mask sets himself up as a strong and mysterious villain early on in the story, before the reveal of his identity, and I was honestly pulled into the mystery. The detective sections had me interested.
Yeah, the
in
detective
putting
sections in this
story
game were the best
together,
out of the franchise.
far more than Arkham
That's
City
facts.
did. Moments like the side quest helicopter crash, reconstructing the scene in Batman's
Yep.
holographic vision, and discovering
Yeah, this
that
was
Deathstroke
amazing.
took it down with a single ricochet bullet. This stuff is all
Yeah,
great.
that was crazy to hear
Though
about.
I will admit that I'm not a fan of the concept of holographic reconstruction. I think the technology is way too powerful to be believable, especially at a time when Batman is still using CRT televisions in the Batcave. But
Yeah, but who knows what year this game takes place in? It's not really specified, so who knows what technology you could have had.
whatever, it's fine, I guess.
It's also a video game.
While I do think the villains are well introduced, the actual fights, sometimes I liked them, sometimes not. They lean too much on QTEs.
No, this one is the worst one. By far.
Sometimes, or going through scripted sequences. There's certainly nothing as good as Mr. Freeze from Arkham City. Bane is kind of like Diet Mr. Freeze. It was kind of cool to figure out how to take him down, running him into the electricity.
Yeah, this was
but,
cool. I liked it.
He wasn't great. The fight against Deadshot was really hit.
Wait, I hope you misspoke, or you're just talking about Deadshot. You're gonna get into that, okay.
Or miss for me, no pun intended. I couldn't figure out when he was gonna punish me for attacking him and when he wasn't, but eventually...
Oh, no, he thinks that this is Deadshot. He actually called this guy Deadshot. Guys, chat, go off on him. Calling him freaking Deadshot, oh my.
I understood his patterns, and I don't know, it doesn't actually feel like a fight. More of a series of hit this button now, and then get some punches in. Firefly was particularly bad. Actually, I don't mind the design as
this one was
set-piece
pretty
style
good.
boss. I was just incredibly annoyed by the game constantly, every time, telling me what to do. You gotta catch him in glue and then throw batarangs at him. And sure,
Yeah, it's not
I
that
don't mind
hard.
the game telling me this once, but every single time you catch him...
You know what? I kind of agree with this a little bit, actually. I think he actually makes a good point here. Because once you do it once, like, you don't need to tell me to do it again, if it's all I'm doing.
The game stops to say, throw batarangs
No,
at him.
I get it.
It's really condescending. This is Under the Mayo complaining about someone else being condescending. The irony is not lost on me.
Isn't that, like, he even knows how condescending he is. That's crazy. Nah, Deadshot is not Slade. I know, tell me about it.
If you had bothered to
If you had... Wait.
look at the game options, you would have seen that you can turn the hints off. Maybe do a little research before complaining about something so easily
Okay,
fixable.
okay.
Y'all gonna make me lose my cool up in here.
Wait.
I know.
Wait. I think that, like, that video that he made on Batman Arkham Knight, the complaints he got, I think still live in his head to this very day, because he realizes they were such stupid takes.
You can turn the hints off, but I like the occasional hints. They show me how to do the moves I'm trying to
Like, see, like this here, if you turn off hints, like, you don't get, like, the color indicator that you're about to be hit.
learn. They remind me of important moves when I'm not using.
No, I see where he's going with this, but, like, you don't have to tell the player what to do to take him out, like, especially with, like, the Firefly one, every time, because you don't have to mix up your attacks. It's the same thing, so you don't gotta tell me every time.
them. But that doesn't mean I need to be told over and over and over during this boss fight. Ad hominem. Catch 22. Occam's Razor? Overall, I didn't like these boss fights as much as I wanted to. They had me missing Grundy, that was a cool fight. The upgrade system in Arkham Origins actually has the polar opposite problem that I said Arkham Knight has.
What?
Whereas Knight's skill tree was overwhelming and insane, Origins is painfully linear, forcing you to upgrade your health and armor to unlock the more interesting combat options. And while it's great to have a bunch
Yeah, but the
of
gameplay did
challenges-
have it with a specific purpose, though. So that by the time you get those things upgraded, then you'll actually need these gadget upgrades. Because, like, the enemies are going to get harder, right?
to get extra points, and I'm not against locking certain upgrades behind the completion of those challenges. The challenge lists in the Dark Knight system must be completed in order, which takes away the ability for some of them to just occur naturally during gameplay. You gotta say, okay, what's next on the ordered list, and then go do it. It sucks. Arkham City continues to have the best upgrade system of the series.
I agree.
Back to
Facts.
the positive, the pacing of Arkham Origins is also much more to my personal preference. Open world games aren't really my thing, though I do enjoy them from time to time. Depends on my mood. But generally, I don't like when a map is just filled to the brim with things to do. I get a little...
So because of the fact that this guy isn't generally a fan of open world games, I'd very much suggest taking every opinion that he has when it comes to open world games with a grain of salt.
overwhelmed, but that's just me. And I've heard that Origins map is kinda empty and basic compared to City and Night.
It kind of
but
is.
Really,
It's more empty in terms of, like, there's not a lot of thugs. There's not a lot going on in the city.
I didn't mind it. I don't enjoy feeling like I'm being pulled in so many directions at once.
Under the Mayo. Too complicated. Also under the Mayo. Not enough. I know.
Origins had just
But you know, he was speaking facts about Arkham City having the best upgrade system. That's facts.
enough going on to pique my interest in exploring side content. The relative scarcity of side missions actually made them more attractive to pursue. ¿Me explico?
No, there's not, like, too few side missions, I don't think. I know, there's the murders, there's, like, 9 of those. I mean, you got, like, Deadshot, you got the Shiva. You got quite a few side missions in this game. I don't think it's that limited. You got all the Riddler stuff, I don't know.
Investigating crime scenes, following the clues, tracking down killers.
Yeah, that
got
stuff was
into
fun.
it. I took my time before
Oh, the
getting back to
Penguin
main
and the Black
missions,
Mask ones.
But I will admit, it kind of takes away from the
Mad
seriousness of the
Hatter.
situation. If all these assassins are out there putting innocent people in danger, shouldn't that be the focus?
No, I
Or
agree.
who's solving
Anarchy as well,
random
that's a good one.
crimes in the street, so I guess it's not that big
Bird.
of a deal, right? I remember that feeling I had in Arkham City and Arkham Knight, where there were just so many moments of, hey, look at this, hey, there's something over here, hey, this character wants to talk to you. I ended up ignoring a lot of it in City just to follow the campaign, and I tried to do more side stuff in Arkham Knight just to end up driving.
He just said there wasn't enough to do, but earlier he said he hates too much to do on an open world map. Man, help me, without you, I would not be able to catch this guy's freaking contradictions. So that's actually interesting. That's something that kind of went over my head. So if this guy doesn't like open world games that much, then I don't like what do you want? Is it too much or is it not enough? No, I see what you're getting at. I like that.
Fucking car more, so I quit. But
I literally just played it back to hear a complaint about the fucking car. I'm not mad. Are you guys mad? I don't even care. Oh.
here in Arkham Origins, because of this great pacing, I actually wanted to follow this Anarchy character and see what he's up to. I went and rescued that cop hanging over the electrified pond, and when I found out that Deathstroke shot down the helicopter, I followed him to bring justice. I'm glad I did, because the Deathstroke mission was the best mission.
Oh no. I don't ever want to see a critique come out of your filthy mouth again! You called Deathstroke Deadshot. You called Deadshot Deathstroke. Gosh! I don't even know what to say now after that, guys. Like, you can't complain about games that you don't even know the names of the characters, okay?
Of the entire game for me. He's walking around and aiming his ricochet tracking laser surrounded by guards with a hostage in the center. Everyone has guns and you gotta take everyone out before you attack Deathstroke. And when you do, he calls for reinforcements.
Yep.
More armed guards rush in to swarm your position, and then if you take them out, a signal jammer comes in. Deathstroke is constantly making things difficult for you, and once he takes a bunch of damage, he runs over to the hostage, threatening to kill him. If he sees you or even senses you're near, he'll blow him away. I failed this mission dozens of times.
Yeah, I
It was
used to fail
really
this mission
hard.
all the time, too.
I'm playing on the hard difficulty like I typically do. I died a lot, the hostage died a lot. It was very challenging and took me forever, and that's not a complaint.
No, that's a good
I
thing.
love the trial and error process, getting punished hard for my mistakes, and coming up with a winning strategy. Eventually, I had the bright idea to set explosive charges by the entrance after taking out the first wave of soldiers before attacking Deathstroke. I went at him with a couple beat-down stun attacks, and when the reinforcements came in, I detonated all the charges to knock him down, giving me just enough time to get another couple rounds of beatdowns on Deathstroke,
You're a
triggering his
genius.
hostage-taking phase, but without actually killing the reinforcements. So the signal jammer didn't come in for the third wave. Then I snuck up on Deathstroke and took him down. Fantastic side
Nice.
mission, with a great build-up surrounding the downed helicopter mystery. Did Arkham Knight have any side missions close to this?
Okay, but this review so far has not really contained much about, like, the overall story. You're not really going into the ins and outs of the story that deeply. Like, you've talked about, like, the conflict between Batman and Lieutenant Gordon. You talked about how you like the Joker was done, but you didn't really go into the deep personal connection that these two develop.
Level of greatness. I played one of the Two-Face bank robbery missions, and that was cool. Not nearly as good as this, but maybe
No,
they'll
that was
get
cool.
more complex later on. I wouldn't know, because, you know, car.
You-
And
What does the car have to do with the freaking Two-Face bank robberies? The car's not even involved in that mission! Besides, when you take him to jail, oh my gosh. I swear, this guy's gonna have a complaint about Batman Arkham Asylum. He's gonna say something like, oh, there weren't many side missions because Batmobile. And you know what I'm gonna do? Scream and cry.
anyways, another big reason I enjoyed going after the side content was Origin's addition of the fast travel system. Brilliantly.
Wait. I thought you hated the Batmobile. I thought you hated the way it was incorporated into everything. But now you're so happy with the fast travel system.
They allow you to call the Batwing to fly you to different parts of the city, but there are only a few points you have access to, so it's not like the game invalidates all the flying around and exploring on your own. You can liberate more fast travel points later on if you choose to, but I mainly stuck to the ones that were already unlocked and then flew around the rest of the way, cause it's fun. It was also super smart of them to use the rendered cutscenes as loading screens, making the transition feel natural every time. So yeah, fast travel, slowly dishing out side content, great character motivation and conflict, combined with the excellent pacing
Let's get into the story.
missions, frequently utilizing
Oh, I did not mean to turn on subtitles. Okay, but let's get into those missions.
Batman's gadgets and requiring curiosity and problem solving, Origins just kept my attention. A couple new enemy types also shake things up a bit. The karate dudes are a real nuisance,
Martial artists. Call them martial artists.
requiring double tap of the parry button when they attack, and
Yep.
they also counter you several times if you attack them. Add in the fact that they're resistant to combo takedowns, and you have yourself someone quite difficult to deal with in large groups.
Yeah,
And
they're
for me,
annoying.
I couldn't tell if I was coming up against a karate guy while in Predator Vision, so I was caught by surprise. In a way, they felt like an anti-Predator Vision enemy type, which was cool. You want to use Predator Vision.
You know what? If that's the case, I bet this guy would have liked the thugs in Batman Arkham Knight that you cannot see on detective mode. Because it's something different. It's a different type of challenging thug. Just saying.
To identify guys with guns, but then it's hard to identify karate guys. Cool decision-making based design.
Yeah.
Shield guys feel a lot more vicious this time around, and I don't know if I'm imagining it, but they gave me a hard time. Especially when combined with the Bonitos, charging at you across the screen, and you
Why are the shield guys more vicious this time? Are they not the same in every game?
have to beat them down or use a combo takedown to unplug their venom. When you put these guys in a room with shield guys, things get uncomfortable real fast. The added enemy variety takes Arkham City's great combat encounters and just makes them flat out better,
Yep.
and more interesting and tactical.
Yep,
Does
I
Arkham
agree.
Knight have this kind of challenge?
Okay. What does Arkham Knight have to do with this, man? Oh my gosh. Just talk about this game specifically. Talk about Batman Arkham Origins specifically. Yes, you've gone on about how the combat is better. Talk about the story. Talk about things that you really enjoyed about the campaign. Like, this is actually getting annoying.
And fun enemy variety? Car. As for the
I'm gonna throw my headset in a minute here. Having to listen to this freaking nonsense.
combat itself, what more can be said? It's Arkham combat. We all know how it works by this point. It's great. Really, the only thing I can point out is the degree of challenge presented by the fights themselves. And luckily, the early game is suitably difficult. Just like Arkham City, diving right away into street...
No, I ain't gonna lie. When you freaking showed the Arkham City footage of you getting your booty kicked, I feel like you were throwing on purpose. There's no way you're that trash.
fights demands that you actually pay attention. Unlike Arkham Knight, where I felt like I could play rather sloppy and stupid and get away with it.
Okay. I think Arkham Knight lives rent-free in this guy's head. It has to. There's no way that he just doesn't keep talking about it. Bro spends half the video complaining about Batman Arkham Knight in a Batman Arkham Origins review.
Yes, I've heard the game gets more difficult later on. Car. There.
This guy's gonna make me pull out my hair. Guys, I'm gonna be bald by the time I turn 23. Oh my gosh. How am I even supposed to, like, listen to this? How do I listen to a guy who non-stop complains about a different video game in a review about something else?
Is one thing I don't like, and that's the addition of the shock gloves. They're cool. I loved them at first.
Yeah.
But, dude, they charge way too fast.
This is a pretty common complaint I see people make about this game, and it's not just under the Mayo here, but basically that it takes away all the challenge of the combat. That's basically what he's going to go on to say.
Even if you're playing really badly on the hard difficulty, and when activated, they trivialize the entire game, turning it into a button masher. It's lame.
Yep.
Every time I activated it, I felt guilty about it because I was ruining the game. And it's not like the combat suddenly becomes balanced for this ability. It's just, hey, hit the instant win button. Yes, you...
But could you imagine, like, this game would have done a lot better with the shock gloves if they had basically made it so that there was, like, a type of thug that you had to activate the shock gloves in order to defeat. That would have been a better concept.
Can't ignore it. And yes, I did ignore it, because sometimes I didn't want to sabotage the fun I'd been having for 3 days at that point. But come on, it's right there, screaming at me from the middle of the screen. Activate me! Turn on your shock gloves, Batman! And then I just do it, because the game has this message telling me to. And then I regret it. I wish there was more to them than just activating, and now you bypass every enemy defensive tactic in the game. You go through shields, you hit karate guys, you don't have to
I agree that the shock gloves, they kind of made the combat just a bit too easy, in my opinion.
Just mash,
but, like,
mash,
they're a cool concept, but they just make it too easy.
Mash, I don't like it. Maybe if it took a lot longer to get, but as it is now, you get it automatically, even in the simplest of encounters. That's probably my only serious criticism of Arkham Origins now that I think about it. The gloves, and some of the boss fights.
Oh, and the car, right?
But I really enjoyed this game. I loved feeling like Batman. The pacing of the experience was well done. The side content was satisfying. And it was nice to not be running over pedestrians at 120 miles an hour, crashing into everything, destroying millions of dollars.
See? Talking about the car. The car lives rent free in this guy's head, chat.
Of public property without a care in the world. Oh, and you know what was a great improvement over Arkham City? Those damn notifications I complained about in my first Batman video. They still pop up in the middle of the screen, which is annoying, but if you complete a challenge during...
Well, what do you want it to do? Just not notify you about a challenge that you had completed? Like, what? What are you talking about?
In combat, Origins makes it so that they don't show up until the fight is over. Wonderful change. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I want to thank the viewers who sent me on this Arkham journey. I got to appreciate what Arkham Asylum meant to longtime Batman.
Okay, that's pretty much it. But the thing is, guys, this review wasn't really super in-depth, I'm going to be honest. I wish that he went in deeper on the story mode in particular and talked about the things he really liked about the campaign, things he didn't like about the campaign. Like talking about like how Batman and Joker, you know, at the freaking Royal Hotel, you know, meet each other, how they fly off a building together, how Batman saves the Joker's life, and how Joker becomes infatuated, how Joker meets Harley Quinn, about everything that happens at Blackgate Prison after Batman has an emotional breakdown following Bane, you know, attacking Alfred. I wish that he had gone into these things. I wish he discussed these things a little bit more deeply, because this review is very much on the surface, and that tends to be what a lot of people really tend to get at, but I really want to see the deeper stuff. I really want to see people's thoughts, but I'm going to be honest, guys, like, you can't take this guy seriously, and I think a lot of the Batman Arkham Knight stuff that he had referenced throughout the course of this video was purely for rage bait, and I know I fell for it on several occasions, but it has to be rage bait. There's no way he's just unironically mentioning this for fun. It is not possible. But let me know what you guys think. Was Under the Mayo right? Was he wrong? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments.